My wife keeps throwing divorce in my face over everything, so I just agreed and left. My wife and I have been together for 5 years, married for 4. We had known each other for years prior, and we have one kid together who is 4. I am the primary breadwinner in the house, as she is a stay-at-home mom. It was her choice not to go back to work. For the last year and a half, we have been having arguments about several times a month. To be clear, I do help out with our daughter, I clean, cook, and am involved with both of them. The first time she said she wanted a divorce was when we got into an argument when my sister called and asked if she could stay with us for a bit as she was having relationship problems. I said she could, but my wife was not happy about that. I pointed out that her friend stayed with us a couple of months prior for 5 weeks and didn't contribute to anything around the house. There was no discussion or anything. In my perspective, her friend just showed up one day. She was a stranger to both me and my daughter. On the other hand, my sister is lovely and has a great relationship with our daughter, and I thought my wife was as well. She ended up staying with us for a week, helping out around the house, cooking, cleaning, and watching our daughter when needed. I thought we both forgave each other and moved on. The fights are usually over something small, and most of the time are not started by me. I have suggested therapy and counseling, but she always said she never needed it. Well, I had it last night. She picked a fight, saying I was spending too much time at work, and that she feels abandoned. She stated that I'm not a good father and ended her rant with, "I want a divorce." I stood up and told her that the only reason I work so much is that she can't stop spending our money on things we don't need or use. She refused to get a job or go to school to help out. I provide for the family, for my daughter. I'm always there for her important dates, functions, doctor's appointments, literally anything she needs. She refused to get help through therapy or counseling. I don't want this anymore. I'll have my lawyer send her the papers when she writes them up. I gathered my daughter's things and left with her to my sister's. It has been 2 days, and she keeps calling and texting, saying she is sorry, didn't mean it, wants to go to counseling and therapy, needs me, misses me, etc. I don't know what to do. I love her. She is a good mother, but I can't do this anymore. Update 1. Hello all, unfortunately, this is not a sunshine and rainbows update. I want to point out some things that it seems were missed or looked over. I would do everything again if I had to, including taking my daughter. I have pushed my wife to go out, find a job, get a hobby, meet new friends, and do something, anything. I asked about seeing someone for help, but she would not listen or consider anything I have presented. She kept saying no, or she was not the problem. My daughter is my priority. I don't fight with my wife in front of her or around her. I grew up in a bad household and I have been in the position where my dad got angry at my mom left, and my dad took it out on me. I don't ever want that for her. I don't know what my wife was going to do that night. You can't force someone to get help, they have to want it, like actually want it. If you force someone, they will go through the motions just to make it look like they changed. I'm not blameless in this, but I can't raise my daughter with her thinking this is okay behavior or this is how relationships are supposed to be like. I decided when I was young that I would never be like my dad. So after I made my post, I had a lot to think about. I decided that I had to make sure she knew how serious I was. We sat down, and I flat out told her that I couldn't do this anymore. The fighting and threatening of divorce have to stop. She agreed and said she would not say it. I told her that the next time it was thrown out, it would be the last time. We agreed to go to couples therapy, and it was eye-opening. Things were said, feelings were brought up, and outside professional views helped us understand each other better. After a few sessions, I thought we were doing better. She started to apply herself more. She looked and obtained a job, made some friends, and got a hobby. That was until an argument started because we had plans in regards to our daughter that she overlooked and couldn't cancel the other plans she had made with some new coworkers. At what I considered the end of the argument, she said under her breath, "I knew marrying you was a mistake." I looked at her, and the thing I remember most is how I did not recognize the woman that was standing there. She looked different to my eyes. I didn't know who the woman in front of me was. I asked her to repeat herself and she said, "I should have divorced you years ago." I walked away and took my daughter to the plans alone, just us two. I ended up filing for legal separation. Under the terms we both signed was something along the lines of while separated, we are still legally married and will not get involved with anyone during this time period. Finances will be separated, but bills will stay as currently split. I would still pay for insurance through work. Other things that were in it were therapy sessions that would continue both as individuals and couples. I would move in with my sister, and we had shared custody of our daughter 70-30 split. One day, when I had my daughter, I needed my wife to take her. I let her know a week before, and she agreed. The morning of at 7:30, I went to drop her off at the house and noticed an unfamiliar car in the driveway. My first thought was, she must have a friend or girlfriend over. I rang the doorbell, out of respect, and waited with my daughter when a shirtless guy opened the door and asked who I was and what I wanted. I asked for my wife, he called her, and she came around the corner in a robe, her face going from curious, to shocked, to horrified, to sad. Needless to say, in 3 months' time when the legal separation ends, I'm filing for a decree of dissolution of marriage. My daughter is safe, she doesn't understand what's going on other than daddy and mommy are not happy with each other. As stated above, she is my priority. I guess I did do the one thing I never wanted to do. The one thing I promised myself I would never become, but I guess it couldn't be helped. I ended up just like my parents. I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. I hope I can just show how much love I have for my daughter and raise her the best I can.